Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of the Lions Den podcast here on a Wednesday night before our next game versus Cruz Azul. Very important game, just as this weekend's game was, which I'm still kind of in disbelief of what actually happened. I could not believe what happened that game. But we're here to talk about that and kind of where we're heading in to close this season. So we'll talk about everything Club Leon in English related and everything else in between the jornada. So if you guys are watching us via YouTube, Twitter, I'll definitely share it on Facebook in a bit. Thank you for watching. Let us know what your thoughts are, comments, concerns. If you agree, disagree, feel free to share in the comments, and we'll definitely keep the conversation going by posting it on the screen. Carlos, Louis, gentlemen, how are we feeling after? I mean, think about it. We all predicted a draw, some sort of a draw, 0-0, 1-1, 2-2. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it was Josue or Sanaku, someone in the comments did say a 1-0 Leon last game. I need to double check that.
Can't remember.
But
we got to go back and check.
We got to go back.
Yeah.
How are we feeling after beating Tigres away?
Feeling really good. I mean, I don't know how to. I don't think there's any point in sugarcoating it. That felt really good, and definitely that will go down as the signature win of the season, no matter what else happens. More than the America match, because America wasn't really playing that well when we beat them, and that was earlier on when the stakes weren't quite as high. This will nothing else they can do the rest of the way will top this. At least in the regular season. Obviously, if they make a improbable run to another final or something like that, that would top this. But this is looking like this will be the signature win of the season. And for me, the best part about it was watching the game. Nothing about it seemed accidental or unexpected or luck. That didn't. I mean, it seemed like they had a game plan and they executed it very well. And they kept what is, at least on paper, one of the most vaunted attacking cores in CONCACAF at bay for 90 minutes. And it was just, if you didn't know where these teams were in the standings and you just saw them play, you'd think these were two very evenly matched teams, probably near the top of the table, near the same point in the table. And that was the most encouraging thing about it. Even though the one goal was an own goal, I mean, it wasn't against the run of play. I don't think we found ourselves against the run of play very much in this match at all. I mean, Tigres generated a few good chances, but I think we had the better of them. Had multiple chances in the second half. Thinking about you, Yairo, I know you're the man of the match. You're really the one responsible for the winning goal, even if you didn't score it, but you had a chance to put the game away and didn't. That's the main one I'm thinking of. They had multiple chances to put away the game and did not do so. I think they were the better team. I think we were the better team, and it's very difficult to go into that stadium and be the better team. I mean, even if you're on a heater, which we really haven't been at all this season. Although, in fairness, we have won 3 out of our previous 4 matches. Starting to show our best ball at the right time, which is kind of what Liga MX is all about. We'll see where it goes from here. But yeah, great win, signature win, the best win of the season. Probably will go down as the best win of 2022. Because there weren't a lot of great wins last season, that's for sure. Stoked, unexpected. Give us a little bit of breathing room in the table too. We can have a blunder. We can probably have at least one blunder in these last 3 matches and still be okay for getting into repechaje, which I don't know if we would have said that before. So yeah, good on Leon. They did it. They did the job. Wins have been in that place have been so hard to come by over the years. That's only, I believe, the 4th and something like the 4th in 30 years or so. So yeah, good vibe, as we would say in Mariner Land, that the running slogan for that team, which is going to break their 21-year playoff drought, the longest in North American professional sports. Good vibes only. So yeah, good vibes only with Club Leon right now as well. I'm stoked. I mean, I think I said I was waiting to be convinced still, and I am getting closer now. If they can take care of Cruz Azul tomorrow, I don't see anything happening in the final 2 matches that would keep them out of repechaje. So, yeah, good vibes only. Go Club Leon.
Good win. Good win. It was a good win. I think everyone didn't expect it, even more so Club Leon fans. I think everyone around the league who are not Club Leon fans predicted Tigres to win. And I think everybody who's a Club Leon fan probably predicted a tie or Tigres to win. But it was a good win. And like I told one of our followers on Twitter, we got to do this consecutively for me to be convinced. One game's not going to top it. I think that it's great that we won. We did it playing with a great style. We had the better opportunities. We did it in a very, very tough venue. But I think we got to do it 2 or 3 times to make sure that we're really back. Because I'm not convinced yet. I don't think we're back yet. Tigres is one of those teams that has their ups and downs. They lost against us, but then they go out and golear Chivas. So I don't know. That's just the way that Liga MX is sometimes. So not 100% convinced, but I'm very happy about the win.
Yeah, you're right about the feeling of the fans, Carlos. Even the ones I ran into up there, they just kind of seemed like they were just happy to have made it there. They weren't really expecting anything more. And that's not a fun place to be with this club, especially with the expectations that we've had the past few seasons. So for them to capitalize on our deepest wishes in that way was great.
Yeah.
I think I'm with Carlos. I think definitely feels good with the result. I mean, we needed this result. Yeah, they need to do it consistently for it to actually count all the way through. I mean, you look at last night, Tigres beat Chivas 3-0, and we're like, like, how did we get here to the point? Oh, 4-1.
4-1.
Yes, it was,
and it was 4.
Watching.
It was 4-0 until the very, very closing seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped watching at 3-0. I was like, it's not even worth watching anymore. So yes, you're right, 4-1.
Now, of course, the pundits and the Chivas fans will only talk about how poorly they played, and that's when they lost. Nobody else. There was no winner in the game. Only we lost. Because we played poorly. That's always the narrative whenever something like that happens with that team. It sickens me, but that's the way it is.
Yeah. Okay, so currently we stand in 9th with 18 points. It's just, if you look from first place 31 points to now, think behind Chivas is San Luis with 14, Chivas has 17, then us with 19. Sorry, no, I'm looking at goals. My bad. Leon has 18 points. San Luis has 18 points. Necaxa is right behind us, 17, 16, 15, 15, 15, 14. And just Sixat Querétaro at 9 with 9 points. But Atlas has looked terrible, which is just fun to watch.
We're in 9th. Think about it. If we were still in the old playoff, what is it called? Bracket format where the 8 teams would go in, we would be right there, and we would have to pray that San Luis lose their last 2 games, which they play Pachuca and Tigres. So I would bet that entramos de panzazo like we did in el Bicampeonato, right?
I think there'd be a pretty good chance.
Yeah.
I mean, Chivas still have a Clásico, and then they have Cruz Azul to close. It's just getting tight. Some
really
teams, some teams still have some games.
A few teams are already disqualified, right? Atlas and Querétaro, I think they're already out. There's no way they can. No, I think Atlas can still make it.
I think Atlas still has like a tiny. Querétaro's out. I think Atlas, because Atlas has versus Monterrey Saturday, and then Necaxa. Can we officially rule them out?
Yeah, let's rule them out.
Yeah, they're done. I mean, the word on the town in Atlas land is that this Campeones Cup that they're playing right now in the 70th minute was the only thing left they had to play for in 2022. And anyone watching that game can see how that's going.
Down the drain, like their season. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about this Leon versus Tigres game. Carlos, are you ready with the...
Yeah, let's jump in. All right, a couple of interesting talking points today. First one, obviously, Victor Davila was out serving a one-game suspension for the red card that he got. No surprises there, but the big surprises that came out were the news that I heard about. I don't know if you guys heard about them. Renato Paiva gave an interview with Radio Play FM. They're a radio station in Ecuador. And he said that Barcelona de Guayaquil inquired or talked to El Presi about the remainder of his contract. Kind of like flirting with the idea of wanting him back. It was just an interview. I didn't hear it, but there was word out. I think Romo was the one that mentioned it. But they would I would imagine that he has a buyout clause in his contract. So he's signed until 2024. And if they want him back, they're going to have to, I'm pretty sure, pay a pretty hefty amount.
Well, to be fair, it wouldn't be getting him back. He was not coach of that team. He was coach of a different. He was with
Independiente.
Independiente, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Independiente del Valle. Yeah, and with whom he won an Ecuadorian league title.
Right.
So he's definitely very well known in the circles of that league. But just to be clear, he was never coach of this particular club.
Right.
But this particular club is where Byron Castillo came from, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people speculating that because he's been having such a rocky start to his career in Mexico, that maybe it wouldn't be such a bad idea for him to go back to Ecuador. Again, there's not a lot to say about this. It's kind of just thrown out there by the media. Maybe they're just kind of start a flame from nothing.
I'm just gonna say,
go ahead.
no, just let me say one quick thing about that. Renato Paiva does not strike me as the kind of guy who is going to give up on taking a step in his career. But coaching in Mexico is definitely a step up from coaching in Ecuador. And he doesn't strike me as a quitter. He's not going to go back to his comfort zone. I don't think he would have come here in the first place if that were his mentality. I think he's going to stick it out unless he gets fired, unless they decide to part ways with him. I think he's going to stick it out here for at least another season.
Yeah.
I just don't see that happening. But I think it's always a good thing when people are inquiring about your assets, whether that be a player or a coach. Doesn't have to mean anything. It could just speak to the quality of that person. So I'm not going to read too much into it. I don't think anything will come of it. But yeah, I mean that's what I would say about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lastly, this Byron Castillo FIFA debacle that's going down right now. Last week, his attorney did speak to the media, and he said that Byron was under no obligation to show up tomorrow. The meeting is tomorrow, and as far as we know, he's not showing up. He's with the team, and he also said that the team, his legal team, is preparing a defamation lawsuit against the Chilean Federation of Soccer. So they're clapping back at Chile for this stuff. Good. Honestly, it sets a very, very dangerous precedent. I think I mentioned this. I think we talked about this before, and I probably mentioned this before. But yeah,
it sets an extremely dangerous precedent to allow a confederation that did not qualify for the World Cup in a sporting manner to continue to allow them to appeal time after time after time after supposedly the last word has been given. And time after time after time, they find more loopholes and more ways to appeal. And they keep giving them, what they're doing is they're saying, well, you still have a chance to get in, even though you didn't earn it. Regardless of the Byron situation, it just sets a really, really poor precedent to allow a team that did not qualify to think that they still have a shot. So I don't know. I don't think it would help one bit for Byron to present himself in person and give his side of the story. Even if he does, I feel like until they decide, okay, this is the last time, after this, there's no more appeals. I don't know if there's an equivalent of the Supreme Court in FIFA or whatever, but I don't know who has to give the final ruling. But somebody, please, for the love of God, give the final ruling so that this tema goes away forever. Like, it's been 7 years with this. Like, the guy, I mean, I don't know. Maybe this might be a hot take. I don't know. Maybe play the hot take clip.
Roll it,
Gotti.
roll it.
But I think this whole business might be getting into Byron's head. It might be affecting his play on the pitch, like this whole season. You like to think these are professionals. They don't let this kind of stuff get to them in any way, but they're humans. And they're going after him personally. It's not just that they're going after his selección. They're going after him. And it's got to get to him on some level. And for those who are, I mean, I think his play has been solid. But I will admit, I don't know if it's, up to the level maybe that we expected. And this might have something to do with it. I mean, he's human. They're attacking him personally. It's got to be getting to him. So I just want to see this resolved one way or the other. I don't think him going to the FIFA offices in Switzerland and pleading his case is going to make one bit of difference. They'll just find another loophole. They'll find another way. So at some point, they just got to say enough is enough. I hope that happens soon for the sake of Byron and for the sake of his selección that did get into the World Cup under sporting terms and not, sobre la mesa, as we would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And aside from that, there were some audios that were released this week. Ugh. I mean, well, obviously, the audio, it was reported that it had just leaked or it had just come out. But that audio had been laying around for years now, right?
Yes. My understanding is it had been part of previous investigations and had already been descartado. That it was determined it was not a suitable piece of evidence.
So what do you guys think? Do you guys think he sat out this past game because of all this stuff? Maybe it was getting to his head, like you said, Louis, or they said it was el tema de las cinco Marias, but I'm like,
yeah, this past game was it was you who mentioned that he was on 5 yellows, wasn't it, Carlos?
No, he's on 4 right now.
So if he would have gotten one more, yeah.
Oh, I see.
So they said. So according to some of the media outlets, they sat him out because they didn't want him to pick up that 5th yellow. But I'm like, there's more games remaining. He can pick it up in the next game or the next.
Well, I
game
don't know. That. Sometimes there's a rule like if you're sitting on 4, but then you go a certain number of minutes or matches without collecting the 5th, then it resets. Or I don't know if it's something like that. If it were something like that, then I would understand it because we definitely could use him for the stretch run. I mean. I expect him to play big minutes tomorrow against Cruz Azul because he didn't play against Tigres, and we have another game on Sunday, so we're gonna need all the depth pieces on our roster to contribute.
I mean, I'd love to have Byron Castillo back, but guys, Cervantes did not do a bad job.
He did not.
He looked really good out there.
He did not.
So what do you guys do? Do you guys start him again? Make sure to give him that continuity, see if he can feed off of the energy from the last game, or do you sit him and take Byron Castillo off the bench and put him in there?
That's
a tough decision.
He was solid. His marking was solid. He obviously doesn't bring as much to the attack as Byron does. But suppose Byron starts and we take a lead in this game, I'd be perfectly fine bringing him on as a sub.
Yeah.
Later on,
I think it was ballsy to start a youngster versus Tigres. Like I was like, oh my god, like Byron's not starting, this youngster starting. Let's see how he does. I mean, there was a few mistakes, but I mean, come on, you got to give him a bit of slack. But overall, I really liked him. I think he did great. I wouldn't be mad if they start him again.
Well,
yeah, I mean, look, I think the adrenaline can carry anybody for 90 minutes. I mean, we'll see how he does going forward if they start him again. I mean, obviously, Tigres trae mucho más equipo que Cruz Azul right now, but still, it's not easy to go into the Azteca and flourish as a visiting team either. So we'll see. I mean, he could show a lot more signs of growing pains yet. We just don't really know. I remember a time when we thought Oscar Villa looked really promising, and then he started to get more minutes, and he's like, maybe this kid's not ready. And I feel like we could maybe see that also with Cervantes. But for 90 minutes, he looked great.
Yeah, and it was either start a juvenil or put a center back out there like Celestine. And I don't think he
Yeah.
wanted to do that. I think he said, you know what, let's give the youngster a chance. Let's let him go out there, even if it's against Tigres, which is like Gary said, that was ballsy, man. And yeah, cumplió with his role. I mean, it looks promising. It looks very promising.
Very promising. You want to go ahead and give us the full lineup?
Yeah, let's do the lineup for match day 14 of 17. There's 3 games left. Rodolfo Cota on goal. Luis Roberto Cervantes, number 185, filling in as right back. Barreiro, Belon, Osby, Fidel Ambris, Jefecito, Campbell, Plátano Alvarado, Yaru Moreno, who had a really good game, and Lucas Di Llorio. Guys, quick stat about the starting lineup. The average age is 25 years old of this lineup. Average age is 20. And if you take Cota out of the equation, who's the oldest, it just drops even further. I think down maybe like 24. But that's a very young squad. A very young squad who beat a very veteran team in Tigres, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, if they can keep this squad together and continue to grow and get more comfortable with each other and fit into what Baiba wants to do, I mean, that bodes well for the future for sure.
Definitely. I'm glad to Plátano was back because, there's sometimes during these games lately where I'm like, stop him, Plátano, give him more minutes, and he doesn't play or he gets terrible minutes. I think he did all right. I think continuity.
Him as a canterano de Rayados, I think it made sense to put him in against Tigres. I'm sure he had a little bit of extra motivation to perform there.
Yeah.
From Monterrey, I think he's from Monterrey, and came up obviously with Rayados, and so yeah, that made sense.
Right. I mean, overall, everyone had a great game. I can't think of one player that had like a bad game. What do you guys think?
And we got the Copa de la Ciudad de Monterrey, del aniversario.
That's true.
Which we didn't even know was a thing.
We didn't even know it was happening, but every year in January, one of the first or second jornada of the Clausura season at home, we always do the Copa Feria León, and it seems like we always lose it. So it felt nice to go into somebody else's house and then whatever trophy they were offering up comes back with us to León for the trophy case. That felt good, even though we didn't know about it at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I sent you guys a picture of Elias holding the miniature cup, whatever. I don't know what it was. But yeah, it always feels good taking something from Tigres like that.
Definitely. Couple of comments. I think Javi's going to join us at some point saying, hello, what's up? I feel good about beating Tigres. Chivas America and Tigres are the same team I hate the most in all game that Leon can ever lose in a season. Sanako said, it was Josue. Yes, I screenshotted it. Josue said Leon would win 1-0. So.
Wow. Josue, if you're in the chat, man, chime in. Say something.
And then Logan from Twitter said, hey guys, feel sorry for Castillo, hoping he sues the Chile Federation. Their behavior has been a disgrace and just mentally exhausting. Like we're just like, we can just imagine him, but I'm just so tired of it's always popping up in Twitter feed. I'm like, can you guys just give it a rest? Leave this man alone. But yes, we hope so too. ¿Qué más? Hey, Carl, you were saying anybody had a bad game? No.
I mean, I don't remember anybody having a terrible. I don't think anybody had a bad game. Everybody just kind of played on the same frequency. Everyone was in tune that game, and I feel like if we can do that moving forward, we're gonna be pretty dangerous, But like I said, with this team, you just never know. We didn't play this well against Juarez. Even though we won that game, we did not play like this. But I'll tell you what. If we had lost or if we had drawn in that game against Tigres and we played like that, I would have came out of there happy. You know what?
Yeah.
We played magnificent. We just didn't get a goal. But that was a great game. Just overall, technically, we played great.
Yeah.
Shout out to my man Steven Barreiro, huh? The much maligned, the much criticized, booed the last time he started El Glorioso, which, I'm not a fan of booing our own players while they remain members of the club. I feel that's a bit classless. Was not a fan of that. But if it served as a wake-up call for him to kind of get his act together and something worked, because he had a very good game against Tigres, enough to get recognized as a team of the week in Liga MX. So
yes, sir.
Good for him.
Yeah, I mean, we've criticized him because we know that, he's had better seasons. This season it's just for, a veteran of a team that shouldn't be making mistakes that he's been making. So, I mean, I applaud Paiva. I mean, he's taken this team and has bench players, kind of made a mark. Like, you need to be benched. And Barreiro was benched a couple of games.
Yeah.
So
I think one of the things that as a team, like collectively that we've worked on over the past couple of games is our defense. Like one of the standout plays from that game in Tigres was seeing Di Giorgio come all the way down to the box to defend and take the ball away from Quiñones, I think it was. Like,
yeah,
you're a striker. You're supposed to be like way over there, and you're like on the other opposite end of the field. Like you're literally playing. What was it, left back?
Yeah,
that to me was like, okay.
I remember that. Yeah, it was a great.
Yeah,
that was a great moment. Full court press, to use a basketball term.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One of the highlight moments of that night.
Just shows that they were all hustling out there during the game.
Yeah, Joel Campbell, man.
Joel Campbell had a really good game. I'm really glad Yaido
there.
started that game. Yaido needed to start that game, and he did fantastic. I'm looking through.
But yeah, 2 consecutive wins and 2 consecutive matches that we don't concede goals in. I mean, after having the worst defense and being the most scored on, we go 2 matches where we blanked the opposition.
And a clean sheet at Tigres, I think, is very impressive.
That's probably the most impressive part.
Yeah, I still can't believe it. I was just like, when the game ended, I like turned to like Tom. I'm like, what just happened? Like, I was like sitting there thinking, oh gosh, just now towards the end, I was like, just end the game, like just end it. Like, I don't want any like last minute, because I think this season has probably happened like 2 or 3 times where last minute we get scored on and it just ruins everything.
And it always happens at Tigres.
Yeah, it always happens at Tigres. They always get a couple good chances, and they usually put them away in the last few minutes.
Yeah, and they almost did.
They almost did.
They almost did. But so glad they didn't. Looking ahead of next game, obviously there was Liga MX this week. Games that had been needing to be played. So yesterday, as we had mentioned, Chivas lost to Tigres 4-1. But in the jornada week that we played against Tigres, Monterrey beat Juárez 1-0. Querétaro and Santos drew 3-3. Necaxa lost to América 2-1. No surprise there. Our win against Tigres 1-0. The Toluca versus Pumas 2-2. Guys, if you didn't watch this weekend, there was 2 goalies that scored to draw the game. 2-2 and 3-3 off of corners. It was crazy. I was like, not 1 but 2. I mean, that's pretty cool. ¿Qué más? Chivas won against Puebla 1-0. Cruz Azul beat Mazatlán 2-0. Atlas lost to San Luis. Are we surprised? No. Atlas is having I don't know what. I mean, it didn't even look like they were bicampeones, to be honest. They're just terrible. And Pachuca 6-1 against Xolos. I saw a tweet about the Xolos coming up to Almada or someone from the staff saying like, can y'all like chill out and not score so much on us?
Wait,
I was just like,
are Xolos that bad or is Pachuca that good?
I think Cholos are pretty bad.
Cholos not that bad.
I mean,
don't be surprised if we can't beat them because it's Leon.
Yeah.
but I just props to Almada's response, which is something I've always lived by, that the best way to respect the rival is to continue to play your hardest. By not backing down. So props to Almada for taking that. But Cody, come on, how is it that Santos against Querétaro needed a game-tying goal from their goalkeeper?
Look, that's what I said. I was like, how did it get to that point? Because if Santos would have lost that game against Querétaro, last team on the table, I think they would have been looking at this game tonight against America from a totally different view. But yes, Acevedo came to save the day, just like Pumas' goalie. Gonzalez saved the day and drew against Toluca 2-2. It's just an insane weekend.
Who I don't know. I just don't like that guy. So something about him rubs me the wrong way. There's just been a few moments when Leon has played against them and he's been in goal, that he just rubs me the wrong way. But it's always cool to see a goalkeeper score last minute.
I mean, it would only ever be.
What do you mean?
Nahuel or Gonzalez?
Oh, Nahuel, of course. Yeah. But Nahuel rubs everybody the wrong way. You don't like him unless you're a Tigres fan. And even then, like, sometimes he makes some boneheaded mistakes. And they lo revientan.
That's true. I think Javi's having some
technical difficulties, but he's there.
Technical issues.
I think he's at work.
Yes. Everything for the pod, huh, Javi?
Yeah.
Louis or Amy, your mom joined us, said, so glad we found you. You are doing a great job. Oh.
She found us. She normally only was able to find us on Facebook, but I sent you the link for the YouTube stream.
Yay. Thank you for tuning in.
Yes. Javi, can you hear us? Nope. I think something's going on with his headphones.
Yes, he said yes.
Oh.
I have it on mute because it's noisy.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
I'm just listening to you guys talk about Nahuel being annoying. Just listening. I got like 10 minutes.
Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and jump into talking about tomorrow night's game versus Cruz Azul. Louis, you'll be making the trip.
I worked it out. I had to pull some strings. I had to finagle some things, but I will be there.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's Hero Viajero for you right there.
Yeah.
When you make something your priority, you find a way to make it work.
So currently we are sitting at 9th with 18 points. Cruz Azul is in 13th place with 15 points. A very crucial game and seeing who wins. How are we feeling, guys? I mean, I know I made a comment of the Tigres game being a big game, but now we have another big game. Are we feeling confident? Because after that we have Querétaro and then Xolos. So this is a big home.
Can I say I was listening to the pod and I kind of agree with Carlos in terms that we beat Tigres, but I just don't like the way we're playing, el funcionamiento, and I'm more about like quiero que juegue bonito, but we won. We beat Tigres. That was all it freaking matters. Even if it was an autogol, that felt even better. But being realistic, I think Cruz Azul and León are playing kind of the same, where they're winning but not really playing that well. So I just feel like between Querétaro and Tijuana, this is the hardest game we have left. I think Tijuana, after we saw against Pachuca, and we know what we don't gotta say anything about Querétaro, right? I think with Cruz Azul we could win. It'll be disappointing if we tie, but it wouldn't be surprising. But I am feeling a little optimistic because we beat Tigres, and I can see how Louis was like, if that's the best win of the season, because he was over there, he was in El Volcán, so that must have felt amazing. So yeah, I just feel like maybe definitely it's a game where it's winnable, and we're just gonna see if León anímicamente, we're gonna see what Bible could do for this team to kind of turn it around and just have anímicamente un mejor funcionamiento and just play better. I always say this, that La Liguilla es otro torneo. It's another tournament. So it just really only matters how you close. And we have the fortune that we're closing against Tijuana and Querétaro. So once La Liguilla comes, we're going to see exactly, how León is going to, cómo va a enfrentar la Liguilla y qué tipo de fútbol va a desplegar.
Yeah. Agreed. Good take.
Absolutely.
Good take.
I mean, I've been wanting to be on this pod for a while, bro.
That's all
I've
right,
been listening
man.
to you
Have
guys.
your moment.
So I'm like,
Have your
you know
moment.
love you guys.
For sure, man.
Yeah, man.
Louis,
And,
we're watching the
whenever
game,
you
the
wanna
San Diego
come.
Mariners game. I was thinking about you.
Yeah, man. It's a good.
I'm
it's a good
switching my
series.
schedule. Good series. Darvish yesterday was impeccable. Today, I'm not even going to say anything. I was watching it at work, but look, I'm going to switch my schedule for sure. So I can have the afternoons free. And even though this podcast, I mean, La Liga is almost over, maybe for La Liguilla, I'll be able to be in my room with my desktop, a little less annoying this way. But yeah, guys, I think we could definitely win. We have to win. I have a friend who if we lose, it's going to be annoying to come to work. So we got to win.
All right, man.
Javi, give us your prediction before you go.
3-2.
Wow.
3-2 tomorrow. Okay. Very ambitious.
Cool, man.
We'll definitely
Like
take a note of it
always.
if you win.
It would not
if
be
you get that right,
Yeah.
we'll all buy you a beer.
It would not be the first 3-2 that we've had against Cruz Azul in the last few years. We won a Copa game against them with that same score.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, Louis. But Kari just said if I get that right, all three of you gave me a beer. So yeah, actually, I owe Carlos like 1,000 beers though, so it wouldn't mean anything. Like he's got to listen to.
Last time Louis had predicted
Pick
like
one
a
up to
4.
tally.
What game did you predict a 4-2, Louis? That I was like, no way.
Oh yeah.
That was the game
predicts a lot.
That was the game against Necaxa that we obviously did not get a 4-2.
We made a bet.
I'll say this. Say this. If you look back this season and last season, I think Louis gets most of the predictions right. I feel like I never get mine right. But I always feel Louis gets his. And I feel last season was the same way.
Maybe
like,
within a goal.
Go back.
Usually within a goal at least. Yeah.
We never tally him up.
No, we should tally this
Should.
season.
Yeah.
Just this season, and then come back next week, and then we'll see who's looking good.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. I actually do have to go now. Well, como siempre, arriba la fiera. I love you guys. It's always amazing to see you guys. And yeah, 3-2, León Cruz Azul. And arriba la fiera. Peace.
All right, man.
Arriba la fiera.
Have a good one, brother.
Hi, Javi gave us his prediction 3-2.
man,
Before we go to
Javier.
predictions, I know he's talking a little bit about lineup. Byron did make the trip. I saw a video. They were exiting the hotel. They kept wanting to interview Pai. Pai was like, I love you guys, but I'm not talking today. I don't know if maybe they were probably going to talk about the whole Byron thing or ask him or all this stuff, but he didn't want to talk to the press. What are we thinking in regards to tomorrow? I know we had mentioned about the youngster doing a good job versus Tigres. Does he start? Does Byron start?
Does Chapito start? Because he didn't get any minutes.
No, I was surprised, but then at the same time, I felt good. There was no need for Chapito to play that game.
Yeah, I mean, you had fresh legs. You had young, fresh legs on the pitch, and that was the reason we were able to go back and forth with Tigres. Against Cruz Azul, it would be nice to see the Chapito, Charlie Rodriguez duel, maybe. A veteran versus like a more of a newcomer. But I'd also like to see, honestly, I'm just going to say it. I would love to see us repeat the lineup. Yes, with Cervantes. I would love to see Cervantes start to see if he can keep that momentum up. Because come playoff time, man, I mean, if something goes wrong, Byron gets, a red card, anything, we always have a backup there, and we got to make sure that this kid is ready to go.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think Byron's going to start. If he's on the convocatoria, if he made the trip, I think he's going to start. And because he didn't play against Tigres. I think he'll be fresh, and we'll see about Sunday against Querétaro. But I think
Yeah.
Byron's going to start.
Hey, you know who else? You know who else made the trip? Tecillo.
William Tecillo, yeah.
The CEO made the trip.
So
I could see him getting a few minutes in this one, and then maybe getting a bunch more on Sunday. We'll see.
Yeah, I think if we get
Yeah.
like a comfortable lead, I think we can see him in there. Maybe sub in for the last 10 minutes.
Get some minutes. Get his feet wet.
Yeah.
But it's so happy to have the CEO back, especially since we have 2 games, and then after that, depending on where we land, what's the highest that we can land with the craziest of all?
I'm pretty sure
technically,
it's on repechaje, right?
No, technically, I believe we can still get 4th. But
With the
Santos would have to lose out, and we would have to win out, and some other results would have to go our way. I think technically we can get to 4th, but I think if we win out, regardless of what else happens, I don't imagine us finishing lower than like 6th or 7th. If we win out.
Yeah.
6th or 7th. Okay. So getting 3 wins next.
Getting 3 wins. If we get 7 out of 9, suppose we draw tomorrow and take care of business in the last 2 at home, then I would think maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah. I think if we win tomorrow, we pretty much clinch our path to repechaje.
Almost. It has not happened very often that a team finishing with at least 21 points misses, although we did finish with 21 last season and missed it. So
yeah.
It's not impossible. I wouldn't be comfortable yet, but we'd be knocking on the door for sure.
Yeah, so I'd say a win tomorrow, and then 4 out of the next 9. Does it?
4 points out of the next 9?
Yeah.
That's
I think
as
that would be
a bare minimum.
Yeah, that would be a disappointing. That would be a disappointing cosecha. That would be a very, very disappointing cosecha, to say the least.
Ideally,
I don't want to
the
lose
9.
against Querétaro. Yeah.
If
we lose against Querétaro.
I don't think we will, though.
Out there.
Well, there'll be time to talk about that match later.
Yeah.
Actually, no, there won't, because I don't think we're going to have another show before that match. But yeah, it's on Sunday.
We won't. Well, I guess we'll just send our predictions on our chat, and then we'll talk about it the pod after that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and go to prediction time. Javi gave us his prediction. Everybody on the chat, if you're listening, give us your prediction for tomorrow night's game. Another away game for León. If they can get 2 wins away, that'd be awesome. Let's go to prediction time.
Prediction time!
Louis, give us your prediction for tomorrow night, please.
Okay. I was thinking about not even going to this game because it's a lot of fuss, and it's a lot of hullabaloo, a lot of things you got to work out to make it happen to go to a midweek game away. But I was like, no, you know what? This game is extremely important for the destino of both clubs and what's left of this tournament. I think if we beat Cruz Azul, we would be knocking on the door repechaje, as we just said, and Cruz Azul would be pretty much out of the running. So it's a big deal for us. I think if we get a, I think Cruz Azul is el más urgido. I think they really need to win this game. I don't think a draw helps them very much, because a draw keeps them at bay. We would keep them at bay. We would keep them 3 points behind, with 2 very favorable matchups for us coming up at home. And I don't know what their remaining schedule is, but I can't imagine it's that easy. Yeah, they really, really need to win. I don't know what kind of sense of urgency they're actually going to play with, though. I know they have a couple of key missing players, especially on defense. They have a couple of key defenders out. I can't remember which ones, but I read about that. And so, it's an opportunity for our attack to get going. Maybe get an early goal and pour it on. I don't know if that's going to happen. Obviously, as I said before, this is not an opponent on the same level as Tigres. But no matter whether you're playing America or playing Cruz Azul, it's never easy to just go in to the Azteca and march out with 3 points. And historically against Cruz Azul, especially, obviously the last time we played them there, we managed to get the 3 points. But it's been tough going over the years doing that. And I don't think it's going to be easy. It's do or die time for Cruz Azul more than it is for us. But I mean, I still think we need to treat this like a final. You know, they say tres partidos, tres finales. Well, I hope we go out and play that way as much as Cruz Azul does. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be. I mean, the highest I'll go, and I think what I will go with is a 2-1 Leon. I think we're going to get a 2-1. We'll get out of there with the 3 points. We'll be knocking on the repechaje. We will pretty much sentenciar a Cruz Azul in the tournament, and my efforts to make this trip will be rewarded. That is what I am. That is what I'm going for.
Let's go.
Hey, 2-1. Logan on the chat said, to let you know, Querétaro haven't won an away game since February 2020 Liga MX. Yes, but
No, don't say it.
look what happened. Look what happened with the Caxa.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something else.
Oh no, I'm just saying. Look what happened with the Caxa. They haven't won a home game against us since what, 2017, something like that.
Yeah, streaks are made to be broken. Is the lesson to be taken from there, from that stat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we hadn't won at Tigres in years. 2017, también, right?
I think so.
2017,
Yeah.
yes. 2017,
And
5 years,
it was
over 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, maybe we shouldn't have said that.
Well, I thought it was interesting because the same thing happened with Necaxa, but let's digress from that. Carlos, your prediction tomorrow night. Are you guys optimistic as Javi and Louis?
Listen, if we can come out and have the same functioning collective team performance that we had at Tigres, we'll be fine. We're going to be good. I think there's no way we can lose it. We have 2 straight clean sheets. I think we'll push it to 3. I think our defense has been better collectively. I think, like I said earlier, Baiba has been pushing these guys to get back on defense. Like I said, Yorio back on defense.
Yeah.
Gamble running back on everybody runs back on defense. I think he's really made that a priority for these guys. So I think we're gonna keep a clean sheet, but I'm gonna keep it a low scoring game too. I'm gonna go with a 1-0 Leon. I think we'll get one in there. We'll have chances, but I think we'll be more focused defensively as opposed to getting 5-6 goals in. I think as soon as we get one in, we'll be good. We'll know how to control the tempo, and that's one thing that Leon did at Tigres. For the first time all season, we knew how to control the tempo of the game. No le prestábamos la pelota a Tigres.
Yeah.
They were getting what's the word I'm looking for? Impatient, frustrated, annoyed for not having the ball. And I think that was great to see from the young squad that we had out there. So I'm gonna go with 1-0 Leon.
1-0. That's what I was thinking too. 1-0. Carlos says low scoring compared to Javi and Louis. Sanaku on the chat said, I will go with the 2-0. Perhaps an auto goal will happen again for safe measure.
Well, the last time we played there against Cruz Azul, we did win 1-0 on an auto goal. one of several wins that we got by auto goal that season. The one that we went to the final with Holland.
So I was gonna say the same prediction as Carlos. That's what I was thinking, a 1-0. Yes, I'm very happy with this win, with this past win on Saturday away. I mean, it's Tigres. I'm still like, we need to keep playing like we did. So I'm just gonna go out and they have to prove me wrong again, and I'm gonna say we're gonna draw 1-1.
Wow.
I'm a pretty good draw.
Okay.
1-1. They have to like listen. They can't beat America and then we like lose against, like we can't do that. Like I'm tired of it. So they need to get their beep together. So I can't cuss. Beep. I wish we had a beep button. Maybe I should download one and you guys let me know when you're gonna say a word and I'll like
Nah. It won't work.
No, it won't work. Logan said I'll also go with the 1-0. Leon, agreeing with Carlos. But yeah, so I think that is all that we have time for today. Right on time for the next game. America versus Santos will be very interesting. Top 4 teams.
Oh,
Up in there.
also tomorrow's game for everybody in the US. So Sanaku, I know Logan is like in the UK somewhere. Javier. The game is on VIX Plus tomorrow. So unless you're subscribed to VIX Plus, you're gonna have to find like an illegal stream or another way to watch it, or listen to it on the radio like Gotti, because we don't pay for VIX Plus. I don't like that subscription.
Don't. I think I have to buy it. I have to do some hack today, because today's game is on VIX Plus, and I think tomorrow's game will also be on VIX Plus here. I think I saw a tweet, but since we're away, I don't know. If I have a hack for anybody that was in Mexico, I'll let you know. But yeah, listen to Carlos. If you guys can't watch the game, follow Leoni, and Carlos will keep you updated. But it is on the radio in Mexico, 99.9. I don't even know what the radio station is called, but I have heard it before, which I'll probably hear that. I'll listen to the game on Sunday, since I'll be at the Santos game as well at the same time. I'm tired of them playing at the same time. Like, this is like the 4th time they play at the same time.
Yeah.
But anyways. Sanaku said boo. Yes.
Yeah, boo.
Yes. Nos quieren arruinar la vida with all these subscriptions and stuff. But anyways, thank you everybody that joined us in the chat. Javi for still jumping in during his work hours. Sanaku, Logan, Amy. Josue is not on this chat, but maybe he'll be on the next podcast. We can tell him that he was the one that predicted the Tigres 1-0, and we appreciate his enthusiasm that podcast to think that. So once again, if you guys are not able to watch tomorrow night's game, follow Coupe on EN to keep you updated with all the live updates. Don't forget to follow Louis as he was making the trip out there. Maybe we'll see a dance like we just saw against Tigres, you know?
Yes, this would not.
That
was the first. That was the first one in El Volcán, because the last time I went there, I wasn't doing the dances yet.
Oh, historic.
Yeah, this would not be the first one in the Azteca, obviously, but yeah, hopefully we can get another one.
Definitely. You guys are more than welcome to watch any other previous podcasts on all social medias, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. If you want to see our faces and comments, you can rewatch on YouTube. But yeah. Next game on Sunday versus Querétaro will be potting a couple days after, as we close the season with the last game. No, actually, that's a FIFA break. We won't play until the week after that. If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we will. We will be playing a friendly against Chicago Fire at SeatGeek Stadium in Chicago, which, spoiler alert, I will be in attendance at that game.
Oh, you're going? Are you gonna?
You can meet up with.
Yes, I have already spoken to Chris King, and
Nice.
I believe we will be making an effort to attend the match together.
We need a picture.
Yes,
So.
for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, sorry. We'll have a friendly if anybody is interested. Louis will be at that friendly. But yeah, anyways, after that, we'll have Xolos, and then hopefully we'll be in a good position to be happy and talk about what the next week after that will be looking like in Repechaje week and then quarterfinals. So we are near the end. It's crazy season so far. Thank you guys for watching us via YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode of the Lions Eye Podcast.